Hello everyone, welcome to my channel from Innovative Thoughts. Today's session is on methods to find the square root. Okay, in this session we can learn how to find the square roots by using the procedure as well as how to find the square root by using the tricks. Okay, first of all we should know that what are the square numbers. Before calculating the square root, what are the square numbers you should know. Okay, what are the square numbers? What we can say, when a number is multiplied by itself, then the result is known as the square number. Let us take an example. When 3 is multiplied by 3 is again multiplied with the same number by itself, then the result is 9. This is known as the square of number 3. Okay, we can also write it as 3 square. Fine. Yeah, now let us see all the squares of numbers from 1 to 10. Okay, 1 square equals to 1 into 1, which gives us 1 only, and 2 square equals to 4. 3 square, 3 into 3, 9. 4 square, 4 into 4, 16. Likewise 5 square, 25. 6 square, 36. 7 square, 49. 8 square, 64. 9 square, 81. And 10 square is 100. Okay, these all known as the perfect squares. This 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49 and so on, 100. Not only 100, beyond that also we have the perfect square numbers. And we can say that the square root of 1 is 1 and the square root of 4 is 2. Okay, and the square root of 9 is 3. Clear? Here the square of number 1 is 1, square of number 2 is 4, but the square root of 4 is 2. Inverse operation. Okay, the square root is always the inverse operation of squaring. When you square it, you will get 4, and when you take the square root of 4, you will get 2. Okay, this is the square of 2 and this is the square root of 4. Clear? Likewise the remaining also. Okay, and we should know that the perfect square root exists only for the perfect square number. Okay, which means, let us take an example. The square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 9 is 3. You can represent this square root with the symbol like this. Okay, the square root of 9 is 3 and the square root of 16 is 4. But what about the square root of 12? This 12 is lie in between 9 and 16, but there is no perfect number between 3 and 4. So the square root of 12 will be around 3.4641 like this. Okay, so this is the difference between perfect square number and non-perfect square number. Here 9 and 16 are the perfect square numbers. So there exists a perfect square root 3 and 4. But when you come to the 12, this 12 is not a perfect square number. So there is no perfect square root for 12. Clear? From all these, what you observe? A perfect square number should have 1, 4, 9, 6 and 5, and 0. These only the numbers in the units place or ones place of a perfect square number. What are the numbers? 1, 4, 9, 6, 5 and also 0. Okay, the remaining numbers are repeated. This 1 is for 1 and 9. Okay, 1 and 9, and this 4 is for 2 and 8. 9 is for 3 and 7. 6 is for 6 only, and 5 is for 5 only. 6 is for 6 and 4. 5 is for 5 and 0 is for when it is 0 in the units place. Okay. So from this we can say a perfect square number should have only these values in its ones place. If it has 2, 3 or 7, 8, any of this number, then it won't be a perfect square number. Okay. This is the simple overview of the squaring of a number and what are the square roots of the numbers. Okay. Now we'll look into the methods to find the square root of any number. We have mainly 3 methods to find the square root of any number. Those are repeated subtraction method, prime factorization method and long division method. This repeated subtraction method and prime factorization will give only for the perfect square numbers, but by using the long division method you can find the square root of any number. Okay, if it is not a perfect square number also you can find the square root of that particular number by using the long division method. Okay, let us see the each and every method in detail. So the first method is repeated subtraction method, or it can also be known as successive subtraction method. Okay, by using this how can we find the square root of any particular perfect square number? Okay, let us take a number example. I am taking 16 as the example. Okay, so this how can we find the square root for this 16? By successive subtraction method. In this method we will subtract consecutive odd numbers from the given perfect square number. Okay, what are the consecutive odd numbers? Those are consecutive odd numbers, that is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, etc. Okay, these are all known as the consecutive odd numbers. By subtracting these numbers from the given perfect square number, we will come to know what is the square root of that particular number. Okay, we need to subtract these consecutive odd numbers up to the result will get 0. Okay, let us see. The first step is 16 minus what is the first odd number? 1, that is will give 50. This is step 1. When you take step 2, here what is the result we are getting here? That from that we need to subtract the second consecutive odd number, that is 15 minus 3 will give us 12. And in step 3, 12 minus 5 which gives 7. And in step 4, 7 minus, next one is again 7. 7 minus 7 is 0. So here in the step 4 we got 0. So we need to stop the subtraction here only. And what is the square root for this 16? This square root of 16 is equals to number of steps or number of subtractions. How many number of subtraction we have done? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the square root of 16 is 4. Okay, very easy method, right? But it is useful for the small numbers. Okay, like 2-digit numbers it is very useful, but when it is 3-digit or 4-digit it will be complicated, right? The next method is prime factorization method. So in this method, first we divide the given number into its prime factors and then we'll make the pairs of similar factors such that both factors in each pair are equal. Like for example, when you take a perfect square number, that is 144, in this if you divide the 144 into prime factors, what you will get? When you divide it, 2 into 72 and then 2 into 2 into 36. The 72 can be written as 2 into 36, and 2 as it is. Again 2 into 18, and next 2 into 2 into 2 into this 18 can be written as 2 into 9. This will be 4 2s and 3 into 3. Okay, make sure that start from the smallest prime number and then goes to the bigger one. Okay, so from this, how can we pair up this factors now? Here 2 and 2, it is one pair, 2 and 2 another pair, 3 and 3 another pair. You can't pair with the other numbers like 2 3, you can't pair it. Same equal factors only you should pair. Fine. Now, so square root of 144 will be the single number we should take from each and every pair. That is from this 1 2, here also 1, and from this 1 3. From the 2 3s we are taking 1 3, the remaining also same. So 2 into 2 into 3, which will give us 4 3s 12. So square root of 144 will be 12. Okay, this is the prime factorization method. If you are finding, if you are getting any difficulty in finding the prime factors, you can go with another method, that is 144. Now take the prime number. So the smallest prime number is 2. Yes, this 144 is divisible by 2. So I am taking 2 first. Okay, 2 7s 14 and 2 2s 4. Then next again it is divisible with 2. So I am taking again 2. This is 2 3 6 and 12 2 6 12. And the process continues like this. Here this 9 is not divisible by 2, so I am taking the next prime number, next smallest prime number, that is 3. So 3 3 is 9. Okay, this is the last one. This is also a prime number, so we are stopping here. Now calculate like this, you will get in the same way, same answer. Okay, this is the prime factorization method. Okay, this is quite time consuming and difficult to calculate the square root of a larger number. It is we are taking an example of 3-digit number. If it is 5-digit or 7-digit, it will be difficult, right? So to overcome this problem, a new method of finding square root is developed. That method is known as long division method. By using the long division method, you can find any square root of any number, any large number, and also you can find for the both perfect square numbers, non-perfect square numbers. For the decimal numbers also you can find the square root by using long division method. Okay, let us take the example as 529. We should find the square root of a number 529. To find the square root of 529 using long division method, first of all take the number 529 and placing bar over the pair of digits in 529, which is starting from the units place. From here you should take the pair of numbers from the right side, that is from units place. So I am putting the bar over 29 and the remaining number is only 5. If another number is there like 1 or 2, you can take another pair, but here the remaining is only 1. Okay, this is the first step. In the next step, start division from the leftmost side, like what we will do in the division, normal division. The same thing you should follow here. Here we should check that which number has the square less than 5. Okay, only squares we should check. Okay, so 1 square is 1 and 2 square is 4. When you take the 3 square, it is 9. 2 square is 4 and 3 square is 9. This 4 is less than 5. So 2 is the number which square is less than 5. So we should take the 2 as here and 2 2's 4. So here also 2. 2 2's 4. This I am keeping here. As in the normal division, we need to subtract these two. What we will get? 5 minus 4 is 1. Now, as in the normal division, we need to take down these two numbers here. So, 129. It will become 129. Now, put this quotient in the divisor and add it. Okay, here in the quotient we have 2. I am adding the 2 to this number. Then the result will give 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, now we need to find a number that blanks here. When whatever the number you are taking here, that should be filled here also. The same number you should take in the quotient and also in the divisor. We need to check the multiple which can be multiplied with 4 and in this blank, then which will gives 129 or less than 129. Okay, we should check like 41 into 1, 42 into 2, 43 into 3, like that. Whatever the number you are taking here, that should be with the same number you should multiply the total number. If you take 2 and with the 2 only you should multiply the number. Okay, so when you take like that, this 43 into 3, 3 3 is 9, 3 4 is 12. This will gives the perfect result as 129. So I am taking here 3 and also in the quotient 3. Okay, 43 into 3. How much it is? 129. The remainder is 0. Okay, as the remainder is 0, this quotient will become the square root of the given number 529. That is 529 under root 529 is equals to 23. Okay, this is the long division method. Let us see another number which is, this is a perfect square number, right? 529 is the perfect square number. That is why we get the perfect square root. But if the number is not a perfect square number, what will be the, how can we find the square root of that particular number? We'll take another example. So many members are having trouble in finding the square root for 2. Okay, now we'll check how to find the square root for 2. Not only for 2, any single digit which is not a perfect square number you can find by using this method very easily. Okay, so for 2 I am taking, so first of all, first step is the number which is having the square less than 2. So obviously 1 is having the square less than 2, because 1 square is 1. When you take the 2 square, it is 4. It is exceeding 2. So I am taking 1 only. 1 in the divisor, 1 in the quotient also. So 1 ones, it is 1. Okay, up to here. Okay, and this quotient will be adding to divisor to get the next divisor. That is 1 plus 1, 2, and we need to fill this blank. Okay, but there is no other number after 2, so that we need to take point and the zeros. Decimal point I am taking. So how many zeros? There is no count for these zeros, because we don't know exactly where it ends. So we will take up to some extent. So I am taking here 8 zeros. And you should remember other thing, that when you place a bar over the pair of digits in a normal number, like in the previous example we have taken 529, we put a bar over the pair of numbers from the right side. But when you come to the decimal numbers, you have to put the bar after the decimal point from the left. Means from here you should take the bar. Okay, first one, second one, third one and fourth one. If any 0 is left, you have to leave that 0. Okay. Now when you subtract it, you will get 1, and it is the decimal point. I am taking the decimal point here. I am taking down these 2 zeros for the next division. Okay. Now you need to find this number to reach this 100. Okay. When you take it is, when you fill this blank, you will get the 20 numbers, right? 21, 22, 23, 24, like that. So in the 20, you need to check from 21. 21 ones, 21 itself. 22 twos, 44. Like that, when you check it, 25 fives, 125. That is exceeding 100. So I am taking 24 fours, because here whatever the number you are taking in the divisor, it should be taken in the quotient also. So it should be less than the number which we are having here. So 24 fours, when you take this number 24 fours, how much? It is 96. Okay, which is less than 100. Now take the next step. The same thing follows here. So 100 minus 96 is 4, and another 2 zeros I am taking down, that is 400, and here 24, but the quotient should be added here, right? So what is the quotient here in the previous step? It is 4. So you should add these two now, that is 24 plus 4 is 28, and the remaining is blank again. We need to check the next quotient number and also which is filled in the divisor. Okay. So when you add any number here, whether it may be 1, 2, 3, 4, anything, it will be the number of 280. Either it is 281, 282, 283, etc. So 200, when you double the 200 only, you will get 400. So if you take the 282 twos, it exceeds 400. So I am taking 281 only. Then you will get 281 here. Here also 1. That is 281. When you take 282, it exceeds 400, because 280 into 2 only, we will get 560 around, right? That is why I am taking 281 into 1, that is 281. So when you subtract this one, you will have, here it is 9, 1, by taking the borrow I am taking, and 1 again. So another 2 zeros I am taking down. Here 11,900 we are getting. So in the same step as previous, this one should be added here again. Okay. So when you add these two, what you will have? 282 you will get, and the other one is again blank. Okay. Whatever the number you are taking here, you should take in the quotient. You should remember that point. Now I am taking, when you check out multiple times, here when you add any number here, it will be 2800, right? So 2000 into 4 means 8000. 2000 into 5 is 10,000. But here 2800 is there. So only 4 is possible. 2800 into 5 will be exceeds the 11,000. So I am taking 4 here. Okay. Here also 4. 2824 into 4. How much you will get? 11296. 2824 into 4. You will have the result, this one. So when you take the subtraction from this, here it is 4, here 0 and 6. Okay, you can take again 2 zeros. Okay, this process will continuous some more time, and you can stop anywhere. If in any problem they have given that adjust it to 2 decimals or 3 decimals, you should stop over there, or else you can take up to 3 or 4 decimals as usual. Okay, this is the long division method for any type of number which is a perfect square, which is not a perfect square. Okay. This is all about the finding the square root of any number by the procedures. So if you want to find the square root of any perfect square numbers by using the tricks, these are mostly applicable only for the perfect square numbers. It is applicable when you want to apply these tricks for other numbers. It will be the estimation. We don't get the perfect square root of that particular number, but we can estimate the number in between any two numbers. Okay, let us take the example that 225. Okay, so now we need to find the square root of this number without using any procedure. Let us by finding the trick we should find this. Okay, so first of all we should pair up the two numbers from the units place. Okay, from the right side, that is 25 and 2. I am pairing up. Here in the units place we have 5. So 5 is a perfect square number. For which number we will get as 5? So we already seen in the before beginning of the class, that is 1 is for 1 and 9, 4 is for 2 and 8, 5 is for only 5, 6 is for 4 and 4 and 6. Next one is 3, 9 is for 3 and 9, 0 is for 0. So here we have 5 here. When you have 5 in the ones place of any perfect square number, the perfect square root will have 5 in the units place. So that is final, 5 only. And what is the other digit? We got the ones place digit and the other digit we should find. To find that, first of all we need to check, is this number lie in between any perfect square number. That is like 1 square is 1 and 2 square is 4. This 2 is lying between 1 and 4. So we have to prefer the smallest number first. Okay, so I am taking 1. So the square root of this 225 is 15. Okay, this is the method. To give you a clarity, I am going to take another example. This is the first one. If you take under root of 729. Okay, to find the square root of this one, again I am taking the pairs 29 and 7. So this, the ones place of the number is 9. That may be in 9, where we are getting either it is 3 or 9. Okay, it is 3 or 7. Okay, the square root of this number will have 3 or 7 in the units place. That is either it is 3 or it is 7. The units place is confirmed, either it may be 3 or 7. So to find the another digit, you need to check again in the same way. That is, here we are having the 7. So this 7 is lying in between 2 square is 4 and 3 square is 9. 7 is lying in between 4 and 9. Okay, so always we'll prefer the smallest one, I said already. So it may be 23 or 27. Okay, now the problem arises. Here in the first problem we got the single number, because here we are having the units place as 5. So only 5 we get the number, and for another digit we check the smallest square of that particular number. But here we are having 3 and 7. To find the perfect number from these two, we have another thing, that is here we are getting 2, right? So this 2 multiplied with 2 plus 1. Okay, I am increasing one number. If you'll get here 3, 3 plus 1. If it is 4, 4 plus 1, like that. Okay. So 2 into 2 plus 1, that is 2 into 3, which gives 6. Okay. This 6 is less than 7, which is less than 7. Whatever the number here we are having, which is greater than the result we got. Okay. So it is less than 7. The result which we are getting is smaller, so the answer is the larger one. If it is greater than 7, greater than 6, whatever the number we are having here, if you have 5 like this, 6 is greater than 5, right? Then 23 will be the answer, means 529. If you have 529, it will be the 23. Let us take another example. With this you will get a clear idea. So first of all, the first step we are paired up, and the next one is here in the ones place we are having 4. For which numbers we will have the 4 as ones place, for which square numbers, square root numbers, that is 2 square is 4, right? Whether it may be 2, or 8 square is 64, whether it may be 8, either 2 or 8. Okay, this is clear. What about the before number? Okay, to check this we need to check the first 2 digits, that is the number which is lying between any 2 square numbers, that is 10 is lying in between 3 square is 9 and 4 square is 16. Okay, so I said we'll prefer the smallest number. So 3 is the smallest number. This may be 32, this may be 38. From these two numbers, which is the perfect square for 1024, perfect square root for 1024? To check that, the same thing we are doing in the previous problem, that is 3 into, here the first digit is 3, so I am taking 3 into 3 plus 1. We should increase one number. So 3 into 3 plus 1 is 3 into 4, which is equals to 12. This 10 is less than 12 or greater than 12? Yeah, 10 is less than 12, which is smaller. So small number will be the perfect square root for given number. If it is greater, the greatest number will be the perfect square for given number. So under root of 1024 is equals to 32. The perfect square of 1024 is 32. Okay, this is the end of the session. I think you got a clear idea about squares and square roots and perfect squares. What are the perfect squares and what are not the perfect squares. Okay. Yeah, if you have any doubts, please comment below. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel From Innovative Thoughts for more videos.